He pulls up to USC and he's like, there's this guy sitting in the back of some Grand Wagoneer or whatever, and this guy's just shredded out of his mind. And he's like, who is that guy? This is on his visit when he's still a senior. And someone's like, oh, that's Junior Seau. And he's like, holy crap. That's how they make the linebackers here. Like, is that what D1 linebacker? He's like, this guy is shredded out of his mind, veins everywhere, muscles everywhere. He's like, I can't play linebacker. If that's what the linebackers look like, I'm out. I'm a fullback. So his problem was he was a fullback, but back then fullback still ran.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I want to get touches. And he was basically down to USC and Notre Dame. Both were offering him contracts. And Lou Holtz, who's the famous coach of Notre Dame, he was like, look at my offensive scheme. It's built around this was like the beginning of fullbacks being killed until, today where they're basically dead completely.
Yeah.
So he was like, if you look at my scheme, you'll see I still utilize the fullback completely. You'll get plenty of touches. You'll get plenty of carries. Come here. And he was like, you know what? I'm sold. I'm going to Notre Dame. He goes to Notre Dame as a freshman. He doesn't really do anything. He has 115 rush yards and a touchdown. He said that Coach Holtz made them, as freshmen, you had to take a test about the USC Notre Dame rivalry in order to be allowed to play in the game.
That's crazy.
Unless you passed the test, you weren't allowed because he was, he wanted to make sure that everyone understood the history. And it is interesting. Think about college rivalries are the biggest rivalries. They're the longest rivalries. They've,
Yeah.
the first Ohio State Michigan game was played in 1897.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
like before the NFL was even close to existence.
Yeah. These rivalries go way back.
And the players are still very bought into them. How do you do that? I mean, I guess that's one of the ways, right? You literally test them on it. You can't play unless you pass. Although nowadays, I don't know what would they do if like one of these elite freshmen, like you're not going to let Jeremiah Smith,
Yeah. Like you gotta let him play.
you're not going to let him play. He didn't pass the test. Or
Yeah. That wouldn't fly anymore. That guy would be in the portal immediately.
the other thing I will say, I think Coach Holtz was like, I'm not going to recruit. You get 2 years to prove yourself. I'm not recruiting another fullback. So if you can prove yourself in those 2 years, the job is yours. His sophomore season, he has 972 rushing yards, 190 receiving yards, and 20 touchdowns.
Wow. That's really good for especially for a fullback.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he was getting plenty of opportunities if he had
Yeah.
20 touchdowns. He had the record for rushing touchdowns until Jeremiah Love broke it.
Wow.
So
So you held it for like 20 years.
he held it for a long time, very long time. He said after his sophomore year already, people were telling him, all right, it's time for you to go to the NFL. And he was like, oh, I have no interest in going to the NFL. Not no interest, but he had always been thinking from the beginning, he was like, my plan is to just get a scholarship and graduate. Like he was viewing football as just an opportunity to go to college for free. He started playing in the first place for that reason. And now people are like, you can go to the NFL. He's like, I'm just trying to get my degree. I'm not even thinking about that. So he goes back his junior year, another great season, 825 rushing yards,